The nurse with North Texas ties at the center of a national quarantine debate for missionary healthcare workers will now be self-isolating at home in Maine. Casey Hickox left the New Jersey hospital tent for the 10-hour drive to her home in Maine. She was educated at UT Arlington and has friends and family here in North Texas. And she has been slammed for being so critical of the process. Fox 4's ZAHID Arab talked to those who know her and who are defending her. ZAHID.
Well, Heather, a church mentor and friend of Casey's, says she's relieved the nurse is allowed to wait out the rest of her required isolation from her home in Maine. But the nurse's criticism of how the government handled the situation has subjected her to name-calling, when a friend says she deserves admiration.
Here she's called the Ebola nurse who attacked Governor Christie.
Kathy Appleton, a former missions pastor at Irving Bible Church, saw name-calling from all over the country. Comments about Casey Hickox, a friend, that hit home.
Oh, it hurt. It hurt so much.
She stayed up until 3 this morning, firing back.
They judged Casey mercilessly. And so I think I would ask people from now on to stop judging her and to appreciate what she's done. I know Casey as a humble, loving, kind person.
Hickox, a Texas native nurse and UTA grad, flew back to the U.S. on Friday after spending a month fighting Ebola with Doctors Without Borders in Sierra Leone. Authorities say a forehead scan showed she had a temperature of 101 at Newark Liberty Airport. Hickox disputes having a fever, but in accordance with a new state policy, she was taken into isolation.
And I'm like, did they really just pitch a tent outside of the hospital?
The nurse found out the mandatory 21-day quarantine of any medical worker who had contact with Ebola patients overseas would start in a tent without running water, a working toilet, or heat.
We think that the policy is overly broad.
The Facebook page Free Casey was created after Hickox criticized what she called inhumane conditions. After pressure from the White House and health officials, New Jersey released the nurse to her home in Maine for isolation there.
To treat them like criminals, to treat them like, you know, they're just wanting to be heroes, it's false, it's wrong. And so we need to eliminate that kind of mindset.
Appleton believes Hickox will take isolation in stride.
She's about, you know, children and women who are in hurting places that most of us are too afraid to go to.
And return to what matters to her most, service.
I do. I have no doubt. Yep. She's a strong woman.
Thinking Hickox would have to spend the full 21 days in her tent, one of her friends actually ordered a Texas flag off Amazon and sent it to her to make it feel a little more like home. Now her family continues to ask for privacy as the nurse recovers from this ordeal. Heather.
All right, ZAHID Arab in our newsroom tonight. Thank you.